Once upon a time, there was a very poor woodcutter who had two lovely children named Hansel and Gretel. Their mother had died many years ago. The woodcutter married another woman. This stepmother was unhappy and always worried that there would not be enough food to eat. One day, the woodcutter was busy chopping wood, and Hansel and Gretel helped by stacking up the logs. The stepmother watched from the window.
We only have a small loaf of bread to eat for a whole week, and those children eat too much. We will starve to death.
The stepmother called them in and sent Hansel and Gretel straight to bed. Once the children were asleep, she began to argue with the woodcutter.
There's not enough food to feed us all. The children must go or else we will all starve to death.
But they are my children.
Tomorrow morning you must take them into the woods to help you. Don't leave them there. They can find their own way to feed themselves. We only have enough for us.
Hansel and Gretel were only pretending to be asleep. They heard every word that the stepmother said.
Oh, Hansel, I'm so scared. Don't worry, Gretel. I have a plan.
Hansel snuck outside and picked up some small white pebbles, then snuck back into bed. The next day, the father took Hansel and Gretel into the woods. He stopped to build a fire to keep them warm, and then told them to wait a while he looked for wood to chop. Hansel and Gretel waited and waited. They fell asleep, and the next morning they got up and followed the pebbles right back to their house. Their father was so happy to see them.
I'm so sorry I lost you in the woods.
The father was happy, but the stepmother was not.
How did those kids find their way? They must have snuck out in the night. Not this time.
That night, when Hansel and Gretel were in bed, the stepmother locked the door.
The problem is still the same. We don't have enough food for them.
I'm sure things will get better. Can't we wait and see?
No, you must take them back out in the woods, and this time make sure it's far enough that they do not come back.
Hansel and Gretel again were not sleeping and heard every word.
What are we gonna do now? She locked the door so I can not get any pebbles. This time I have a plan.
Gretel waited till no one was looking and stuck a piece of bread off the table. She broke it into small pieces. Today, when the father led Hansel and Gretel into the woods, Gretel dropped pieces of bread along the way. Unfortunately, the birds in the woods began to fly down and eat the bread after the children and their father had passed by. Again, they built a fire, and their father told them to wait there. Again, they fell asleep while waiting and woke up alone in the woods. The birds had continued to feast on the breadcrumbs. Hansel and Gretel began to follow the breadcrumbs, but quickly found the trail was gone.
The crumbs are gone. Which way do we go now?
Hansel and Gretel began to wander the woods looking for a way home. Then, all of a sudden, they spied a house made of gingerbread and candy.
Look, the house is made of chocolate and gingerbread. And candy too. I'm starving.
They began to eat parts of the house. The sounds brought a witch to the window.
Nibble, nibble, nibble. He eats my house to rubble.
The witch invited Hansel and Gretel in the house.
You children look so hungry. Come inside and I will feed you a great feast.
Hansel and Gretel went in the house and quickly discovered they had been tricked. The witch threw Hansel in a cage.
Now, little girl, you feed your brother well. I want him to be nice and plump so I can cook him up.
Meanwhile, back at the woodcutter's cottage, their father was so upset at the loss of his children that he threw the stepmother out of the house and she left for good. The witch forced Gretel to feed Hansel lots of food. He was starving and ate the food, but he kept a chicken bone. You see, the witch could not see well. Each day, the witch would ask Hansel to stick out his arm so she could see if he was plump enough. And each day, Hansel would hold out a chicken bone.
Still bony. Gretel, feed him some more.
This continued day after day until the witch got tired of waiting.
Bony or not, today I will cook up your brother. Gretel, go see if the oven is hot enough.
It feels warm, but I can't tell for sure if it's hot enough.
You check.
The witch went to check the oven, and when she leaned in, Gretel pushed her in the oven and shut the door. Gretel quickly freed her brother.
Let's look inside that box over there before we leave.
When they opened the box, they discovered it was full of gold. They rejoiced at their good fortune. They took the gold with them when they left, and luckily found a path that led them straight home. Their father was overjoyed that they found their way home.
Oh, my children, nothing can make me happier than to have my Hansel and Gretel back with me.
I think there's one thing that can help.
Hansel and Gretel opened the box of gold to show their father, who was even happier. From that point on, Hansel and Gretel and their father were never hungry again, and they lived happily ever after.